Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin, and it's Saturday, so it's time for my weekly roundup. What is this weekly roundup, you might be asking? Well, every Saturday, I like to go through my weekend crafting. You know, things I've created, any finished objects, any works in progress. I'm not going to show the things we're making Thursday pillow, because I just do that on Thursday, and also the beginnings cardigans from the Fridays with Fred series. Those I'm only gonna show on Friday as well. So neither of those two, but the other projects I've been doing. And this week I have one finished object. Well, two finished things, but we'll get to that later in the show. I finished my lavender cardigan from Melissa Crochets with Love. So this is a paid pattern. You can get it on her Ravelry. It'll be linked down below. And it's kind of a mesh stitch with some half double crochets worked in. And I am so excited. I thought, oh no. For a second, I must have had I probably saw that shawl behind me. I thought maybe I forgot a string. Fingers crossed I got all the ends woven in. You know, sometimes you don't know. But yeah, this is it. So I'm much taller than Melissa. I'm 5'8". So just if you're curious, I'm 5'8", roughly an 18-20 in clothing size. So definitely a fluffier gal. I chained 231 for my starting chain, and that made this just about knee length, which I love. It's exactly what I wanted. And I did 3 pattern repeats, and then at the end, I did the 3 pattern repeats. I seamed it up as she described, and then I went around and I did just on the lapel area, I did 3 rounds or 3 rows of half doubles, and then I did 2 rounds of half doubles around the entire thing. So I got a little half double trim on the bottom to just clean that up as well. And then for the sleeves, if I didn't add the sleeves, it would have ended with like a little cap sleeve right here. I wanted it extended just a little bit more. So this is just 5 rounds of half double crochet added to the sleeves to just give it a little more sleevage. I love it. I used Lime Brand Comfy Cotton Blend in the colorway Chai Latte. In the end, I ended up using about 3 1/4 cakes. I just barely got into that last cake. And for a long time, I didn't think I was going to, but if I had not added the sleeves, I would not have needed the final cake. But here, let me stand up and kind of give you a bigger look at it. And then I'll move the chair out of the way. So I'm going to do a 360 turn. Of course, you're not going to see the length on it. And, I mean, this is cute. I'm not going to put closures, but it's definitely enough where I could, like, cinch it with a belt here if I wanted to make it a little more, like, shapely. But I actually like the boxier style. And with it being a cotton blend, I'm going to stand on my chair. Don't be alarmed. I am a semi-professional at this. So here you can see the length of it. It goes, let me bend my knee. So I don't want to, when I bend over, my knee is right here. That's my kneecap. So it literally goes knee length. And I just think that's so fun. It kind of has the kind of a little of a boho feel to it, which is fun and perfect for spring and summer. That's what I was trying to say with the cotton. It'll be perfect for spring and summer, and that's why I decided to go with the shorter sleeve. But I am also someone who, I think I'm stuck in my teenage years a bit in the styling at times, but I totally wear short sleeve sweaters with long sleeve tees underneath, and I don't care if the tea color pokes out. I kind of like it. But here we go. Finished object. And this is stash yarn, so I'll have to weigh it so I can put that in my Stash Down 2023 thing. And what else did I do? We'll just start here and work our way around the room. I finished the first half of part 6. I believe I'm on part 6 of Sophie. So I did just the first half of it. I'm setting up leaves, and I believe the next row will be a round of tulips again. And this time the tulips, I'm going to use, here I used Red Heart Ombre and Hot Sauce. I'm going to pick up this coral, Red Heart Ombre and Coral, to pull that color back up to the top. But there you go. Here, she's getting so big, it's hard to show her all on the screen at once. Oh, there we go. We got the bottom. Sweet. And again, I did not weave in my ends. I'll weave them in when I'm done with that part. These leaves were really fun and kind of challenging to do. I did not watch the tutorial. I think the tutorial would have helped quite a bit in this because I wasn't quite sure which, sorry, pause there. It must be noon. The siren test is going off. You know, when it starts getting spring and the sirens go off, you start going, hmm? But, yeah, the on the short slide, these little leaves are super cute, and I'm assuming I'm going to put a flower in it. But with reading just the instructions, trying to figure out where they wanted them positioned, it took a little doing, and I had to redo them a couple times until I thought it was right. And I think I've got it right now, and if it's wrong, I'll fudge it. I'll fudge it. I do like the back. I think the back looks awfully pretty, too. So, I mean, you still see the tulips. But yeah, I am excited. She is progressing. And I do think my goal going forward is just going to be to do half of a part each week, which will probably make it just about a year-long project because I think there's like 21 parts on it or something. It's really big. But I know near the end there are some optional parts, and I haven't decided what optional parts I'm doing. This is whole fly by the seat of my pants project, which I kind of like because it's so intricate. The other thing is my very first sock. I have begun. Well, I'm more than begun. Look at that. I have a heel. It's going to be way too big for me. I've already kind of decided that. But I'm going to just keep plowing forward. I'm using some of the Hobie Halloween Sparkle yarn. I love the way it's working up. It's very pretty. It is a little scratchier, but it's not superwash wool. It's just wool. And I think it's the wool that's scratchy and not the shiny thread through it. But yeah, I have finished the heel flap, the heel turn, and I'm working on the foot. I'm following the Crazy Sock Lady's vanilla sock tutorial on YouTube. She also has a pattern. It's you can purchase it on Ravelry. It's very reasonably priced. I feel like it's $2 US. I am fumbling over all of my words today. I apologize. But yeah, but she shows you everything on the tutorial. I haven't had any problem with it. And basically at this point I'm knitting until I reach a certain length, which is based off the length of your foot. And then you're going to start the toe decrease, and at the end, it's going to be a Kitchener stitch, which is one of my nemesis, but I got to practice it. Got to make friends with Kitchener. It makes a lovely result, and I need to use it more. So here we go. Where I think it's going to be way too big is my instep is not this big. I have very small feet for my size. My foot used to be a 6.5, 7. After the babies, it's an 8. So I started doing her medium on the tutorial because I was like, medium, we'll just start in the middle. And I had watched Stephen West's kind of intro to sock video, and he was like, don't swatch your socks, just make one. Your sock is your swatch. And I was like, yes, just get the practice in. And if it doesn't fit, I'll find somebody it fits. It's not a problem. And I mean, assuming in the end it looks okay, because I'm not going to foist a mangled sock upon someone and be like, here, have it. But yeah, my plan is to, even if this sock doesn't fit, I will make the second sock in the pair to match this one. So it is a matching set. So when we find the Cinderella that can have this sock, they will have a matching pair. Yeah, so that is progressing. I'm very excited about this. This is my nighttime project. So it's the project I do while I'm putting the kiddos to sleep. And then work also has been progressing on my Stephen West MKAL. So this is the Twists and Turns MKAL. This time I did fully complete a row. I made sure of it before I stopped last night. So here I'm still on clue 2, working away on the rays. The rays are nice. They're fun. They're a pretty good mindless. And I have a lot of fun doing the short rows for these bigger maroon sections. I'm using hand-dyed yarn from in that Instagram. I got it from Etsy from Blackbird Sycamore Yarn. That's their logo. What do I have here? Okay, so you've got main color, contrast color, and pop color. One of my, I don't remember which is which. So this kind of tannish one is called Cleric. This is called, no. Tannish one is called Pink Jasper. This maroon burgundy beautifulness is called Cleric. And then this one, I got kind of a golden beautiful color. I don't even know how to describe the color, but it's called Cinnamon as my pop color. And I love it. I love it. With a couple of the dark splotches on the cinnamon, I feel like my twisted rib is getting a little lost, but I don't care. I don't care. I think it's so pretty. It's pretty. And I was worried it wasn't poppy enough, but I think it is. As I'm working with it, I think it pops nicely, and it's a nice color palette that I would actually wear. So that's all pluses. So yep, that continues on. I will finish it at some point. I am embracing my pace on the extreme for that guy. Okay, what else do I have to show you? I did work on Bingo's Unicorn Grafgan. I am mid-row on this one, but that's okay. This one doesn't really bother me for mid-rows. The knitting slipping off the hooks slipping off the needles makes me a little twitchy, but the crochet doesn't bother me mid-row. So this is a pattern from Magic Pixel Design. It'll be linked down below. Everything I work on is linked down below, so don't worry about that. I am rapidly approaching the halfway point, so I'm roughly 3 rows from halfway done. So I've done all of this. This is what I have left, and I'm right here actually on the pattern. I'm on this row on the pattern. So I'm finished off these 2 flowers. The 2 side flowers are done. I just have a little left to do on the purple flower, and then just the ears, and the most of the end is going to be the horn. So once you get to the horn section, this is going to fly. I have used an extraordinary number of bobbins on this project, but here it is. She loves it. She is so excited about it, and I think it turned out so very cute. I have not woven in my ends for a while, so you might see an end or 2 hanging off, but there you go. And the top is flopping because of the weight of the bobbins, but there you go. I decided to do this in half doubles, so this is all half double crochets. And one trick I did find with the color changes is, you know, with a half double, when you're going to change, you don't finish the entire stitch. You wait till you have the 3 stitches on, and then for your final pull through, you pull up the new color. What I found is also when you go to do that first stitch in the new color, do your yarn over, but then before you go through, you'll often have this like little loopy of yarn from the previous row. Snag that on your hook too before you go through that stitch, and then go through your stitch, pull your yarn, get your yarn over, pull your loop up, and then do your yarn over and complete your stitch. And you've trapped that little thing over, and it really helps the colors stay clean, because otherwise in the beginning here, I was noticing that that little flap of yarn would like mix with the other stitches, and it didn't look as clean as I would like, but by trapping it, it makes it look much nicer. I hope that made some sort of sense. I'll try to do, yes, next time I do a color change, which will be shortly, actually, No, that one isn't going to work because I changed to the white. So basically the whole time I'm carrying the white along. But here, when I do the ear, I'll try to remember to record that to show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is going along, and it is using much less of that leftover yarn from the Unicorn Utopia blanket than I thought it would. So it's good. I'm going to have a lot of that yarn left still. More projects! Yay! Lastly, I'm going to show you a new cast on. I started a shawl with a cake. I was looking at cakes because Heather from the Crochet Witch is doing the Great Cake Off. Is it the Great? I don't know what she's naming it. Something about cakes and off and using all your cakes. But I have this Etrafil Republic cake, and I thought it's time to use you. So it looked so March to me. So, you know, leprechaun-y, St. Patrick's Day. So I thought, perfect time to break you out. It is Etrafil. It's 100% recycled cotton. It's 1,000 meters, 250 grams. It's a 2-weight. This color is RJ024. And yeah, designed in Italy. I like it. It's very nice. It's called a hand knitting yarn. I'm crocheting with it. I am doing, oops, here's the hook I'm using. I'm doing Crystal at BagODay's Butterfly Effect shawl. So here we go. It's one of the, I've heard this stitch called a couple of different things. The up and down stitch or the pebble stitch, but that's basically what you're doing. You're not going to see it, but it creates, there you go, maybe you can see it. It creates a lovely texture. Basically I've also seen this stitch done a couple of different ways. This one does, you do rows of double crochets, and then you do a single crochet and a triple crochet to make the little bumps. I've also seen it done with double crochets, but the bumps aren't as pronounced. So on this one, you get a very nice pronounced bump. I will, of course, have this tutorial linked down below if you want to do it. It is very fun. And this is actually the very first time I've made a shawl from this type of yarn, which I think is usually a shawl yarn. I've made dresses and shirts out of it, but never an actual shawl. So here we go. Shawl time. And yeah, oops. That is that. That is all of the let me take a quick look around. Yep, that's all of the projects I have to show today. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop into my reading real quick, and then we'll talk about my planner and the coming week, because that is chock full. So I said there was something else that got finished this week. I finished it. The Name of the Wind. I finished it. So good. So good. It ended with such a bang. And I am so excited to start the second book. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It is, I highly recommend it. But remember, this is kind of sword and sorcery fantasy. If you're into that, cool. But it is intended to be a trilogy, and the third book has been a long time coming, and there is no like release date or anything planned at this point. So if it annoys you to have an unfinished story, please don't read this. Find another series. Not A Song of Fire and Ice either. A Song of Ice and Fire. I always change those two words around. So yeah, so if George R. R. Martin annoys you, Patrick Rothfuss's writing timeline will annoy you as well. Find another book, although I highly, highly recommend it. This was really good. Yeah, it was good. The next book, so I wanted to take a break in between. So Brian got me this book. It's LVOE by the poet Atticus. Atticus is a nom de plume. It is, so that's not the real name. As far as I know, at this point, the identity has not been revealed. So you don't know if it's male or female, or, you know, what gender they go by, what pronouns they prefer. Nothing is known. In my opinion, the writing style is masculine, but that's just my opinion and my projection onto the writing. And I mean, when you disguise your identity, I think you open yourself up to that as an author. And, you know, that's just part of the experience. It is poems, so it is they're short reads. But to me, reading poetry is such a different experience than reading a prose novel. Because you have to read it and then you kind of have to sit with it a little bit. So, you know, a book of this length, I could finish quickly. I mean, often these poems are one line, but you have to read it and then you have to sit for a moment before you turn the next page. So it isn't you know, I'm not going to fly through it, but this won't take me too terribly long to get through. I highly recommend it. This was in my Christmas Eve box from Brian. And yep, it's fun. I love it. He had, of course, called out a poem he wanted me to read right away. Read page 31. I love you was his inscription. I won't read it because it's copyright, but it's very sweet and kind. And if you like poems, I highly recommend it. They are much more modern poems. They aren't sonnet style. They're not anything like that. They're more modern poetry. And there's like chapters and they're each kind of around a certain subject, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. Let's pop in to my crochet planner from Crojo Corner. Did we go through the end of February last week? I think we did, but let me pop real quick. We did. So yeah, we talked about that. So let's go through my monthly goals for my weekly goals for last week. Jeez Louise, Erin. Okay, so I wanted to start Sophie part 6. I finished the first half, so that's a check. I wanted to start my next Between Friends project, which I did, check. I wanted to work on the Beginnings cardigan, which I did. That's the Mr. Rogers Fridays with Fred. I wanted to start on the Things We're Making Thursdays, which I did. If you watch that video, I actually finished one of the pillows in its entirety. I wanted to start my Spring the Fiber Enthusiast pattern for the Krafting Kitty Creator Spotlight for March. I picked out the yarn, but I did not actually start working on the project. I'm going to do the Turbulent Skies shawl. I wanted to finish the Lavender Cardigan. Check. I wanted to work on the unicorn blanket. Check. I wanted to work on socks. Check. I wanted to review yarn and do a tutorial. Didn't do either of those. So what I will do for this next week, let's Sophie part 6. Let's do, I'm going to write down Fridays with Fred, pillows, basically just keep working on all of my projects here. Socks, my my shawl, the unicorn blankie. This was my car project, so that means I need a new car project, which you'll probably see, but I have already picked that out. So I'm going to just put start car project. There we go. I mean, we just keep forging ahead. Is there anything else I forgot? No. Oh, I don't have twists and turns. So twists and turns, which is just to continue working. So I put that under the projects to complete section. It really just means I want to keep working on them. That's planners from Crojo Corner. Blanked on her name. So check out her YouTube channel. She has a website. You can also purchase the bound copies off of Amazon. I believe she has spiral bound on her website if you don't, which would be very nice. So let's take a deep breath and look at what we have coming this week. Okay, so tomorrow will be Sunday. I have an opening already filmed. You're going to see. On Monday the 6th, tune in. That is our technical podiversary. That is the anniversary of my very first uploaded YouTube video. I will be here. And then on I don't have anything written for Tuesday or Wednesday. Thursday, I'll be up for things we're making, and I also draw a winner for the whisk giveaway. So please go check out that video if you haven't. On Friday, I will be on with Fridays with Fred. And then our Podiversary Live will be there. So come join us Friday, March 10th, probably about 9:30 p.m. It'll be after the kiddos go to bed. We'll be live. We'll have some fun prizes. We've had a couple of donations, which is super awesome and very generous. I can't thank you enough. And I've got some goodies up my sleeve. There will be some replay prizes because I know it is late for a number of people. So please go ahead and do that. And then that brings us back to next Saturday, which will be another weekly roundup. And if you didn't check out the video that dropped very, very late last night, I apologize. The Poor Decisions with Brian, something involved in that will also be revealed on March 11th. So there's basically going to be, I'll just let the cat out of the bag. 3 days in a row, we're going to have giveaway winners. There's lots of chances to win last night, so, or next week. So please go through and check, and I've got more than enough stuff going on. Things will happen on Tuesday and Wednesday. This is exciting. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much, Gary from Urban Yarns. You shouted me out, probably a couple of hours ago. I don't know. I opened up my email and I saw a lot of new comments, and then I was like, wow. And then opened up YouTube Studio to look at some comments and reply to people. And I was like, whoa, there's a little jump there. And then I saw a couple of comments saying Gary sent me over. I was like, well, there's only one Gary I can think of. And sure enough, he was so kind to shout us out. So welcome to all of you coming over from Gary. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I live up to whatever expectations. We have fun here. I hope you will have fun here, and welcome. Join us. Join the madness and the craziness. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys have fun too. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.